Hello, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday, let's look at my calendar, 8th. Today's Wednesday, the 8th. All right, boys and girls. So, let's get started and let's look at our first problem. And it says, Andrew has 14 blocks and Ben has 29. How many total blocks do they have? All right, boys and girls. So, the first thing that we do with our problems is that we underline the question. So we're going to go ahead and underline the question. Then we need to find the important information and circle it. So let's look at our word problem and think about what is important. What is it that we need to solve our problem? So we know that Andrew has 14 blocks. And we know that Ben has 29. Is that important information? Yes, because that's telling us how much each person has. After we underline the question and circle information, now we need to find all the boom words. So, boom words are words that tell us what action we need to take. Do we need to add or do we need to subtract? Which word would help us tell or is telling us or hinting us what we have to do? If you said the word total, you are correct. Total is telling us to add. So we are going to add how many, 29 and 14, because our question is asking us how many total blocks do they have. They want to know how many blocks Andrew and Ben have together. So when it's asking you for a total, we are going to add. So we're going to add 29 plus 14. So before I do that, I'm going to draw my place value house to make sure that all of my numbers go where they need to go. So I'm going to start with the biggest number, 29. And I'm going to put my 9 in the ones place and my 2 in the tens place. Then I'm going to go to my 14. And I'm going to put the 4 in the ones and the 1 in the tens. And we're going to add. So we are going to first add the digits in the ones place. We're going to combine the digits in the ones. So what is 9 plus 4? If you said 13, you are correct. Now, this is a little bit tricky because we have learned this. We are going to be learning about this, okay? So I want you to pay very, very close attention. We are going to drop down the 3. And the 1 is going to fly to the tens. And it's going to go next to my 2. So now I can add my numbers in the tens place. 1 plus 2, and we know that's 3. So that 3 plus 1 more is equal to 4. So our answer is 43. If you got the answer correct, put a check mark on your checklist. And if you got the answer incorrect, put an X on your checklist. Please don't forget to do that, boys and girls. All right, so I'm going to erase this. And I'm going to go to the next one. There are 10 girls and 7 boys in Mrs. Moore's class. How many more girls than boys are there? Okay, so we're going to, first of all, underline the question. Oops. My goodness, I cannot draw a line, boys and girls. So here we go. Okay, let's try something else. Give me 1 minuto. Here we go. So we're going to underline the question. There you go. Then we're going to circle information. So let's look for the information that we need in order to solve the problem. We know that we need the 10 girls and 7 boys are in Miss Moore's class. How many more girls than boys are there? So what is our boom word? What are the words or word that is hinting us, telling us what we have to do. If you said how many more, you are correct. How many more is telling us to subtract. Whenever you see the words how many more, that is an HMM. How many more. When you see that, you are going to subtract. All right? Remember that. HMM means subtract. So we know we have 10 girls, and we know we have 7 boys. And we also know that how many more tells us to subtract. So they want to know how many more girls there are than boys. We know that there's more girls, but we want to know how many more. So 10 minus 7 is equal to 3. So that means that there are 3 more girls than boys. And you can even draw a picture, guys. I'm going to use purple for boys and orange for girls. There's 7 boys, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10 girls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you see this right here? There's 3 more girls than there are boys. All right. I wasn't going to do that. Sorry, hold on. I was just going to erase this. Sorry, guys. If you got the answer correct, put a check mark on your checklist. And if you got it incorrect, put an X on your checklist. Let's move on to the next one. And it says, Sully scared 49 children. 17 of the children were girls. The rest were boys. How many were boys? So let's go ahead and underline the question. And then we're going to circle information. The information that we need to solve the problem. And that is that there were 49 children. 17 of them, we know that they were girls. And we know that the rest of them were boys. Okay? So now, it's asking us how many were boys. They want to know how many boys there were. They told us how many children there were. They told us how many girls there were. But they didn't tell us how many boys there were. So we're looking for a missing number. So what's 49 minus 17? We're going to have to subtract because they gave us the total and they gave us the part. One part of the sentence, addition sentence, but they didn't give us the rest. So we are going to subtract 49 minus 17. But first, I'm going to draw my place value house, ones and my tens. And I'm going to write 49, my 9 and my ones, my 4 and my tens, and then 17 girls. My 7 in my ones place, my 1 in my tens place. 49 minus 17. And we are going to subtract 9 minus 7. So pick up 9 fingers and subtract 7. We are left with 2. Then I have 4 and 1. So pick up 4 fingers and subtract 1. And we are left with 3. So our answer is that there were 32 boys. Okay, next block. And it says, decompose the number 155 by drawing place value blocks. Alright, so they want us to draw the number 155 by using place value blocks. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have our place value house first, ones, tens, and hundreds. We start with the ones place. We have a 5 in the ones place, a 5 in the tens, and a 1 in the hundreds place. So how many hundreds are we going to need? 1. How many tens are we going to need? And if you said 5, you are correct. 1. Okay. 1, 2. Wow, these lines do not work, so hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then how many ones are we going to need? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if that's what you drew, good job. So if you got this answer correct, put a check on the checklist. If you got it wrong, put an X on your checklist. All right, boys and girls, that's all for today. I'll see you in a little bit. Have an awesome day.